It was a scorching Thursday afternoon in downtown Chicago. A sleek black Cadillac Escalade rolled to a stop near the construction site of a new luxury hotel, one of the many projects backed by billionaire real estate mogul Richard Carlisle. Always dressed sharply even in 90-degree heat, Richard had stopped by unannounced to inspect progress, flanked by his assistant and project manager. But as he walked past the dusty gravel, something stopped him dead in his tracks. Not the sound of jackhammers, but a soft, gentle voice. Sitting beneath a shaded scaffold, a black construction worker in a reflective vest had his hard hat off and was feeding a little girl from a lunchbox. The child, no older than 6 or 7, had her eyes shut tight, clearly blind, and yet she smiled as if she could see the sunlight on his face. Richard watched, perplexed. The man, later introduced as Marcus Gray, a mason, was gently blowing on a spoonful of spaghetti before feeding the girl, saying, "Careful now, it's still hot, sweetheart." The moment froze Richard. Something in the girl's face tugged at a place in his heart he had long buried. The little girl had dimples. Her curls bounced when she laughed. And when she called out, "Daddy, this tastes just like Mommy used to make," Richard's world spun. That voice, that face. He staggered backward, his mind racing. Tiana. That had been her name. Years ago, Richard had an affair, brief, intense, with a brilliant chef named Tiana Mills, a woman he had loved but left, too afraid of what being seen with a black woman would do to his corporate reputation. She vanished from his life soon after he broke things off. He had no idea she'd been pregnant. He couldn't take his eyes off the girl. The jawline, the cheekbones, everything screamed Carlisle bloodline. "Excuse me," Richard called out, walking toward Marcus. "That child, who is she?" Marcus stood up cautiously, instinctively protective. "That's Naomi, my goddaughter. Her mom passed last year. She's staying with me now." Richard's heart sank. Tiana, gone? And this man, this complete stranger, was raising his daughter? Marcus eyed Richard suspiciously. "You look like you've seen a ghost," he said. Richard's voice trembled. She's mine, isn't she?" Naomi tilted her head. "You sound like the man in my dreams," she said softly. "Mommy said one day he'd come." Richard knelt before her, his throat tight. "Naomi, I think I'm your father." Marcus pulled him back. "Not so fast. You don't get to show up in a $1,000 suit and claim a child like it's a stock option." His voice held no malice, just deep, tired protectiveness. "You left Tiana when she needed you. She never said who the father was, but she cried every night holding your letters. You want to be in Naomi's life? Prove it." That night, Richard didn't sleep. His assistant found him staring at old photos of Tiana. The next day, Richard returned to the site, not in a suit, but in jeans and a t-shirt. He didn't come to talk. He came to work. For the next 3 weeks, the billionaire became unrecognizable. He arrived every morning at 7, side by side with Marcus. He learned how to mix mortar, how to lay bricks, how to sweep the floors. Naomi sat nearby, listening to music or humming lullabies her mom used to sing. Richard brought her lunch every day, each meal a recipe from Tiana's old cooking blog. Slowly, Marcus softened. "You're doing good, man. But being a dad ain't just about money. It's about showing up." Richard nodded. "That's why I'm here." Naomi began calling him Mr. Rich, and then shyly, just Dad. Her laughter lit up his soul. One afternoon, while playing with Naomi's Braille books, Richard whispered, "I want to take care of you for the rest of your life, if you'll let me." Naomi reached out and found his hand. "Mom said you'd come when I needed you the most." I think she was right. 6 months later, the luxury hotel opened with a grand ceremony. But this time, the spotlight wasn't on Richard Carlisle, the mogul. It was on Naomi Carlisle, who stood beside her father and her godfather, Marcus. Richard had hired Marcus as the lead foreman of Carlisle Developments, increasing wages and improving site conditions across all projects. He also launched a foundation in Tiana's name, providing scholarships and eye care for blind children. But more than anything, he was a father, not by DNA, but by the actions he took every day. Feeding Naomi, reading to her, guiding her through the city with her hand in his. The world saw a billionaire making headlines, Naomi saw the man who once knelt before her and said, "I'm sorry I wasn't there, but I'm here now, forever." And she believed him.